All right, so let's get after it. So we're going to do a quick video here. It's time for another set of INDIO letters. But instead of doing a video about INDIO letters, which you now can almost probably literally do in your sleep, that's not needed. Like a true YouTuber, I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the video above. Click that. I'm going to put all the previous INDIO stuff into a playlist. So that'll take you to the playlist if you need to review. There's the 6-footer. There's the steel frame guy. You guys made the sled. And then also there'll be the 4-footer. Just look for the oldest one. I think August was these 4-footers. So if you guys need to review that. But like I said, I think you guys have it down pretty good. So there's really no need to go over that. Although we will need to go over the frame that it's being mounted to. It's not this. This is the last one you did on the wall. But I don't think it requires a video. It's just going to be a piece of steel you guys are going to weld steel sticks to. That's a PDF. We'll print out something. We'll go over it at the shop. That's fine. We'll just go off YJ. That being said, I do have a small lay of the land. It's going to be this one. So what this whole video is not so much how to make the letters. It's going to be how I'm doing the quote unquote same as before, which is what we like to call when we try to duplicate what we did, save money, like, hey, nothing but pure profit. Just, hey, do what we did before. We've already done it once, and now this time, let's do it. Well, that's when we shoot ourselves in the foot a lot of times, and that's in two ways. One of them is that we don't keep records of what we did, because the fastest way to do it is just send a link to the files that we did before with nothing there and say, get on it. That's great. Guess what? 2 years later, you're trying to figure out what you did because something happened. And then it's like, well, that guy doesn't work anymore. Does anyone have his number? Can we call him? We're putting on our archaeologist helmets, trying to figure out, read the hieroglyphs and whatnot. So, and we're digging around in route files and things. So in order to mitigate that, I took a little bit of time, slow as smooth, smooth as fast, and kind of am proceeding with a same as before, but with a little bit of organization. So mostly that's what I want to talk about here real quick. But going forward, hopefully, this turns into something where this is our second set of 4-footers, and they're going to go into a park. And hopefully the steel and everything will be the same, and we can really get down with some same as before and really go for it. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and make a template for drilling, for laying out where the posts go. Now, this is where the same as before is important, because the other problem with that is sometimes we end up Xeroxing the mistakes and you send them forward, and then you just, the mistakes keep haunting us. And it's like, well, why did we do it? Well, nobody said. Anyway, one of the things that haunts the 4-footers, and this isn't a problem if we're printing a pattern, because computer don't care. Just like the honey badger, computer don't give an S, computer don't care. Weird decimals doesn't matter. To a tape measure, really weird decimals is really hard to, they don't go together, like not chocolate and peanut butter. So one of the downsides of going from the 6-footers, which I took the time to massage all of the mounting holes to land on whole numbers, because like John Glenn says, you don't land on a fraction. Everything was on whole numbers. Well, we were kind of in a hurry, and I didn't see this as an issue. I scaled to 4-foot, and I upgraded all the holes. But then once I went to go make this frame, all of this was already in production, and I started to do the math on these sticks, and they are on some freaky layouts, because the proportional just didn't work. So I should have taken the time to nudge them and get them back to whole numbers. But again, if we're printing something, that's fine, and so I let it go. Well, here is one potential problem. So I took the time to weigh the options. The same as before only works if we can keep the same route files without blowing them up and going back to the DXFs and doing it all from scratch. Well, we're kind of back to where we were, in a way. So I'm going to compromise with this steel template. It makes it faster anyway than using your tape measure, but it means that I can't just give you a printout very easily, because we've got 3.00124, we've got 0.27, 1212, whatever. So we're not going to mess with that. So we're going to do a one-time template, hopefully for a 162-inch piece of steel, which is what these 4-inchers are going to be. We use this once, wrap it up, put notes all over it, say what it is, either put it in cold storage or hide it, hang it on the wall. And then hopefully we do a bunch more of these and we can just use this going forward. But as long as we know that the decimals are weird, maybe we massage it going forward at some other point if it's worth blowing up the .ROUs. But we already have all the route files, we have the plates laid out, so let's just go forward. But again, it's that kind of thing where same as before can get you, but let's make sure we're organized. So that's all. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing on the route job side. Let's go lay of the land. We're there though. So I'm sending you a steel template that's new for this. And I'm going to redo, because I don't know if you guys still have these around, but you use these as well to drill the 2x posts. Now your 2x posts are going to be steel coming up, but I don't know if you still have these. If not, let's keep these as well. These are for your layouts for power and whatnot. And Golden Master, I know it sounds like an awesome KTLA, Kung Fu movie of the week on Channel 13, but it's actually what in software you create the final say, and then the Golden Master is what every piece of software is made from after that. But you keep this as locked down, you finalize it, you don't touch it, and then that is what everything's made from. So these are going to be kind of our Golden Masters for any future 4-footers that go in a park on a piece of steel. So let's go into route jobs, and I'm just going to show you so this will be more for route, and I know route very rarely watches any of these, so I would encourage route to watch this. I know you can't hear it, but I'm going to send you an email to make sure you watch this. So as you can see, we already started down this road in sort of we were starting to trap ourselves again. So hopefully at some point, this will be full of folders that say every intersection in INDIO, and maybe even INDIO will figure out a way to sell INDIO letters to like banning. So maybe we start putting INDIO letters in banning. I don't know. But let's just say, hopefully, this will look like Eisenhower and Loma Linda. It'll be so full of stuff. But we had already started to go down this road where this is all the record we have for the 6-footers. And then we did a park. So we don't know what happened. So I had to do some dissecting. Waste of time. 4-footers are kind of going down that road where this was just one job, but it doesn't even say, the location of it. So I kind of massaged it, cleaned it up, and kept the .ROUs. Those are the ones that count. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm moving forward. So you have all the DXFs and stuff from previous. We don't need that because the .ROU is already set up. You've got the route file, the plate's ready. So going forward, just keeping some organization. So this is the new job. So I'm going to open it up. All I did was pull forward. I know it's like, well, I could just go to the other folder. Nope, we're doing this. All of this stuff's here. And I brought forward the .ROUs that seem to work. Now, here we go. Speak now, me, fab, and route. If you guys, I didn't know of any issues, you guys just nailed them. Great. If there's an issue, speak now. We need to decide if nudging something or if something didn't work, do we blow up this .ROU, go back to CDR, fix it, and do it right? Or this is where the Xerox comes in. Or let's not Xerox mistakes going forward, but this is how we're going to do it. This is really good. So these are all the things. And yeah, I remember I forgot, but it's not worth blowing them up. I'll just make sure that, remember, you got to route the skins. I did forget, got ahead of ourselves. So, but keeping it organized. We do have 2 new files because we're going to do the drill jigs and the template, but I also have those in the 4-footer here as well as a Golden Master. But when we go reference this job 2 years from now, we don't need to dig. We just go to Jefferson Fred Waring. And then this is everything we did. And then hopefully going forward, it'll say Madison and whatever, and it'll say Jackson and whatever, or, Miss Jackson if you're nasty. But, going forward, let's just do that. Then if there's ever an Escalade or something that comes through and blows out one of them, we don't need to dig around. We go to which one was it? And yes, this might be the same. And we will just copy paste, and we'll change the name and make sure everything's good. But gigabytes are cheap. We can just make this grow and it'll stay nice and organized. That's how same as before. Slow is smooth, burning a little bit here. but I won't have to make a video every time and everything, and we can really start to be smooth about it. But again, a year after something happens, we have record. We don't have to go, what did we do? You know, all of that. So last thing though, I don't know why I didn't think of this, and I would encourage maybe going forward, this is really simple, do what's called a README file, .txt. So you open up your notepad. I keep notepad open all the time. You can see where I wrote it here. I use it on my home computer as well. This is where I copy paste things. When I'm sending emails, I do links here first and then create hyperlinks into email, but I use notepad all the time as a landing space for copy paste. So I'll copy paste something, use notepad, and don't even save it. When you go to close it, just get rid of it, throw it in the trash. It's like a little scrap piece of paper. But notepad is super handy for passing on information. And I don't know why we haven't done this. So I created what's called a README. So in this space of computers, it's known for programs where it's included in a program. And look at it, it's only 5 kilobytes, doesn't take anything. I went ahead and just did a search on my C drive for README and text. And I got one for Razer, all the equipment I use, my mouse and everything. And this is the notes that they're passing on. Granted, this is way inside baseball, but what this is doing is passing on to anyone who cares, or internally for them, crash reporting library. This is where all the crash reports go. V8 snapshot, whatever that is. Anyway, so I'm thinking, well, how come we don't do this? So I dropped, for the first time here that I'm doing, README route files for this job, Fred Waring 111, and there's a README. I open it, here we are. So I passed on that this is Jefferson and Fred Waring. Previous route files came from Jefferson 111, spillway mounted 4-footers. Nowhere in our folder says this, so this is our first. And then I went ahead and put the addresses, and this is just copy paste. I just dumped these in here. This is the actual place that they came from. And then I went ahead and made a note that I'm adding new files for this job, which will be the layout template, and because of the weird decimals on centers, and for the drill guides. And then these are where I got them from, but they're in here. And now there's all the info we need. And yeah, I know there's some eye rolling. Some people are going, why do we got to do that? It's just copy paste, and it's worth it, because a year from now, we're set. And like I say, hopefully this will be full of addresses and full of, and we just keep track of everything. So that's all. Got the README in there and everything. So going forward, that's it. But yes, I think we're good. But again, let's get together. Fab, if you had any issues, speak now. Maybe it's just worth going to him. Don't even need to blow up the .ru. But if you can have route just nudge something and save it and update, fine. But like I said, if there was something that didn't fit at all, let's talk about it. Otherwise, I think we're good. So I'm passing the job on. So this is same as before, but doing it right. So hit me up if you have any questions.
Check the technique. Check the technique. See if you